We're going to get back in to the edge snatching, truth dropping episode here with Jerisha Hawk around morality and charging more for your program. Why do people actually think raising your prices is wrong? Just because you've never made the money yourself doesn't mean that you don't have the skill set or the capability or the expertise to support somebody else. Don't try to sell a premium price program to an entry-level market. Can you actually deliver on what it is that you're promising? Do you have experience based around what it is that you're promising? This is not the time to be winging it trying to win, like faking it until you make it. Like, don't do that in the online space. Your reputation and the perception of your reputation matters. It may not matter to you today, but it will matter 3 years from now if you're still in the game. Just because you have a passion for it and you know your why, that is not good enough to build a profitable business. That might get you started in the morning, but that is not going to guarantee profit at the end of the day. We have to get beyond the surface level solutions if you want to morally raise your prices. Period. Today's episode is going to be one around morality, ethics, and integrity when it comes to charging more for your coaching program. You guys, we talk often about what's required to, increase your lead generation, what's required to more effectively market and sell your services. But I want to talk about the strategy that a lot of us don't discuss, like the morality and the ethics of charging more for your coaching program. In today's episode, I really want to break down why it is morally right for you to charge more for your program. So this is going to be one of those episodes that I really hope shapes your perspective, introduces a new perspective, maybe cements a different vantage point or viewpoint when it comes to ethically raising your rates and morally charging a higher ticket price point for your program. So I'm really, really excited about that. This episode is going to require some interaction. So I would love for you to be able to hear a gem that is dropped, type it in the comments. I'm going to be asking for your feedback during this episode as well. So just either write that down in your notebook or put it in the comments below this video if you're catching this live or in the replay, because this is talking about morality. We need to start talking about what our individual values are, what our individual beliefs are, and how that shapes how we show up in our business, how that shapes how we price our offers, how that shapes how we position and confidently sell what it is that we have to bring to the marketplace. So I want to talk about this morality thing because I think most of my clients, most of my audience, we are faith believers at heart, right? We have, conscious at the end of the day. We're not just in business only to make ourselves money. We're also a huge reason why we are in business is due to an obedience that has been placed on our life, right? We're being obedient to what we've been spiritually called to do. And a lot of that time, that obedience is in the form of building a business. That obedience is in the form of delivering a service, coaching others based off the expertise and the experience that we have acquired. But when it comes to, factoring in, okay, I'm being obedient to God and I'm being spiritually led to lead this business, serve this business, make money with this business, develop and acquire my own personal wealth with my business. What does it look like for me to also factor in morality and integrity when it comes to coaching and the price point of my program? Okay. So that's the real reason why I wanted to talk about this. I did an episode not too long ago about how to ethically raise the price of your coaching program. And that's an episode that I really, really break down the difference between price, cost, and value, and some key components that you need to be incorporating in your offer to effectively and ethically raise your prices. So today's episode is more on the other end of morality. I see a ton of you guys popping on. Throw some hearts up on the screen if something that I say resonates. Share this episode onto your timeline. Do all the active things. So first things first is I wanted to actually just pull up the definition of morality. And morality is just the extent to which an action is right or wrong. So I want to first break down, why do people actually think raising your prices is wrong? And I would love any feedback in the comments if you're catching this live or in the replay. What has prevented you or caused you to feel bad, caused you to feel like you were doing something wrong if you were thinking about raising your price? Please share your perspective in the comments real quick. I want to know, why have you ever actually thought that it was bad or wrong for you to raise your prices? So that's the first thing I want us to take a minute here to dialogue about. Why, if at any point in your business, have you ever thought that it was wrong or that it was bad for you to raise your prices? Pop that in the comments and let me know. I know for me, when I first started my business, a lot of me charging more for my services had nothing to do with what I thought somebody else would pay. It had everything to do with what my self-belief and my own perspective on my self-worth, right? When it came time to me pricing my own packages and pricing my own program, it felt very foreign because I had never worked in an environment or been compensated financially where I dictated the terms of what my compensation would be, right? Most of the time, the reason why I felt bad or felt uncomfortable, let me be more accurate here, uncomfortable with pricing my own program is because anytime that I had been financially compensated for work that I delivered in the form of a job, somebody else told me what I was going to get paid. I didn't get to set the price. So I was used and very much conditioned, I think most of us are if you have an employee-based background, that we are told what we are, like what the value of our contributions are based off somebody else setting the salary, based off somebody else telling us our hourly rate. You might negotiate to try to get an increase based off a baseline that somebody else gave you, but it wasn't you setting the price out of the gate and you trying to dictate, determine the confines of what the value was and what the price point should be. So that was where I had a lot of hesitation in the beginning. It felt extremely foreign. I felt like I didn't have any context to base it on, right? So having this belief that somebody else cannot afford your service or that the audience that you have created your offer for cannot financially afford to pay. So if you charge too much, others won't be able to pay for it. The grant writing coach said having a mindset feeling like no one will pay the increased price. So her own belief around what other people will pay. So because she had this belief that people wouldn't pay, that influenced what prices that she set. So maybe thinking that your industry won't support the price point because maybe, you know, in the nonprofit space, it felt like that wasn't available. You hadn't seen it done successfully before. So because somebody else is making more money than you can't charge more. Like, you know, I'm not making six figures yet, so I can't offer a high level coaching to people who are making that much money. So because you have not personally made that much money, that means you can't charge more or possibly serve an audience that is beyond the price point that you have made. So those are some reasons, right? I want to talk about a couple of those, like, you know, thinking that your niche can't afford it, thinking that because you haven't made enough money, you can't, you know, serve an audience that might be past where you are in revenue, thinking industry can't support it, your niche can't support it, your own limiting beliefs around it, right? So first thing I want to break down is, my question is for you just to kind of like trump this really quick before we start talking about morality and why you actually should be charging more. First thing is that when I was an engineer, I graduated from school, got my degree, got my career, got a job, right? About a year and a half into the job, I was the lead engineer of a $400 million pipeline project. Had I ever personally made $400 million in my life? No. Still very far away from that number. I had never made personally in the form of a paycheck, in the form of a trust fund given to me, in the form of somebody leaving me money in a will. I never hit the lotto where I made $400 million ever a day in my life before. Yet I was responsible for a project that was worth $400 million. I was responsible for the engineering and the oversight of that engineering and how it correlated and impacted the financials of that project. That's one thing I want to talk about first and foremost, is that just because you've never made the money yourself doesn't mean that you don't have the skill set or the capability or the expertise to support somebody else. And this really depends on what your offer is and what it is that you're promising people. But think about your jobs in some capacity. Many of us have worked in roles, had leadership positions, had management positions, or maybe had, you know, independent individual contributor positions where we were supporting projects, supporting budgets, supporting cash flows, supporting financial projects that far exceeded what we had financially made ourselves through the form of a salary or a paycheck. Am I right? Have you ever been in that position? So how much money you take home is not a direct correlation to how much money you should be charging for your services. Never. The first thing that I want to break down is like what you should be charging for should be 100% correlated in alignment with the value being delivered. Now, if you are somebody who's saying like where it gets immoral or it gets unethical is when you're lying or dishonest about the result that you can help somebody get. Meaning like if you're somebody who's saying I'm going to become a business coach and I'm going to, you know, help lawyers transition out of their career and start their own coaching business online. I'm going to teach them the marketing, the sales, the offer packaging so that they can make their first $1 million. If you've never done this for yourself or have learned that skill set and helped somebody else get that result, if you are not equipped, right, with the experience, the expertise, whether that's firsthand for yourself or because you've helped somebody else do it, do not package that into a promise. Do not sell that to somebody else. That's where it gets unethical. That's where it gets out of integrity, is when you start packaging up promises based off of maybe who you are comparing yourself against in the industry, right? Sometimes this is what happens often is that we get online, We think that our expertise isn't good enough, or we haven't yet fully clarified or defined where we add value in the marketplace. So we look at who is successful and then we literally just try to mimic what they do. It looks like business coaches are making bank this year. I'm going to say I'm a business coach and I'm going to help people with marketing and sales, even though that's nowhere near in my experience wheelhouse. That's nowhere near in correlation to where I've had success personally for myself or where I've helped somebody else have success in this. So you start trying to package somebody else's promise that you do not have expertise or experience in. That is where it gets unethical. That is where we start stepping out of the line of morality, guys. So that's where it's like a Young Money, Cash Money, no. You know, cue Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. That's a Young Money, Cash Money, no. That's something that we're not going to do today. This is why I think it's so harmful when you are working with coaches or if you're in a coaching program and they're just like, mimic my model. You need to sell what I'm selling. You need to sell it the way that I'm selling it. You need to sell to the audience that I'm selling to. And they try to make you these carbon copies of themselves. Even though you do not have the experience or the expertise or the insight, you have not yet developed that skill set. You don't have the experience to deliver that promise. Do not package that into an offer. Absolutely don't raise the price on that because you don't have the experience. Like I said, we need to make sure that we're operating through integrity and just ethically being honest, right? That's like the one end of the gamut. And no point will you ever hear Jerisha Hawk or anybody from Team Hawk saying raise your price without also saying that whatever it is that you're promising, whatever it is that you're delivering needs to be something like honest, trustworthy. Can you actually deliver on what it is that you're promising? Do you have experience based around what it is that you're promising? This is not the time to be winging it, trying to win, like faking it until you make it. They don't do that in the online space. And the reason why I say that is because our industry is so small. Like the internet is big, our industry is small. It takes like your reputation and the perception of your reputation matters. It may not matter to you today, but it will matter 3 years from now if you're still in the game. Like, it matters. So at no point do we want anybody here to be packaging an offer that is out of alignment with what their experience or their expertise warrant. Okay, that's first and foremost. Second thing, when we start thinking about pricing your offer, where the best offers come from is based off where do you already have existing experience or existing expertise? Where have you already gotten results? I think this is one of the areas that most coaches completely bypass, especially in the beginning. They feel like, okay, I was literally having a call with one of my clients. She's been a client of mine for over a year now. She's a Black woman in a high-level leadership position in corporate America. So naturally, she thought, okay, I'm going to become a career coach. I'm going to help other Black women learn how to articulate their value in their position, learn how to effectively articulate that so they can position themselves for, upward mobility and higher senior level positions and senior level promotions, right? That is what she's been trying to do this entire time. While she had that skill set, right? She had that skill set based off of her personal experience. She was able to rise through the ranks in corporate. She was able to get into a high-level leadership position in her corporate career, right? She understood how, the specific nuances that Black women deal with in corporate political playgrounds, right? She knew how to tap into her value and how to articulate it with where it made sense with the bottom line with the company that she was with so that she could position herself for promotion. She successfully did that. She created a coaching program around that. Part of her, was that business working for her? Yes. Was she making money? Yes. Was it building the traction and the momentum that she desired? Actually, no. And I think sometimes we can completely forget about the other areas of skill sets that we have. We undermine them or think that they're not good enough. So then we completely avoid them when it comes to packaging an offer that aligns with our expertise and our experience. The other thing that she's really dope at, I asked her the other day, I said, what role do you play in corporate America? What's your corporate position? What do you have the last 10 plus years of experience doing in your role? She said, she's an asset manager. I said, explain to me what that means. She says, when people, buy multifamily units or commercial properties, they go out and take out a loan. I'm the asset manager that gets assigned to their account to make sure they're properly managing their renovation. They're properly pricing things and looking at the asset price to make sure that they're getting the returns that they need so that in the next 3 to 5 years, they can have a clean exit and a profitable exit. I said, why have we never talked about that area of your expertise before? She's like, well, a lot of the time, the best thing that you could be ethically and morally charging the most for, you're completely bypassing. You're not giving it any attention. You're not even validating that form of your expertise. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It wasn't to say that her career coaching business couldn't be successful if she continued and doubled down on it. She was getting sales from it, but it wasn't going to be the mass momentum that she knew that she desired to have. And the reason why I'm using this example is sometimes we are in positions where we have decades, years of like firsthand experience doing it for a corporation, doing it, like getting real results for ourselves privately, but never think to like, wait a minute, could that be the thing that I package into my premium price program? The thing that I want to ask you guys on, the thing that allows you, the point of your experience or your expertise that really positions you to charge premium is, what are you actively known for? And get beyond the I'm the friend everybody calls when they get stuck. I'm the friend everybody goes to figure it out. Like, I help people find get beyond the bullshit, guys. And oh gosh, I'm cussing. I didn't realize I'm going to get passionate. Please pause here for this momentary commercial break. If you have children around, or maybe your mother-in-law is in the background, please put on some headphones. If the language that I may continue to use throughout this live stream does not align with, the household rules or the language that you like to use in your home around those folks that you're around, okay? If you're at work right now, this is definitely a great opportunity to put those headphones in. I don't want your boss coming around the corner saying, who cussing in the middle of the cubicle. We just got back to work from quarantine. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. I didn't know I was going to start going down that path, but I'm getting passionate. So I'm just going to pause here for this commercial break. Put your headphones on, turn the volume down, do what you got to do. Okay, thank you so much for pausing here for this commercial break. We're going to get back in to the edge-snatching, truth-dropping episode here with Jerisha Hawk around morality and charging more for your program. All right, y'all. So now that we're back from commercial break, I think a lot of the time we undervalue the experience and the expertise we have. And why do we do that? It's because a lot of the time, many of us have worked in positions where we were undervalued, underpaid, and overworked for the expertise and experience that we had. So we naturally will do it to ourselves. We're now in a position where we are dictating our prices, determining what it is that we're going to be charging. First thing I always say is, do not package or price a program. Don't try to sell a premium price program to an entry-level market. Do not do it. When it comes to charging more, it's not only about, can I actually deliver this value? Can I that's cost of entry, right? You need to be able to, is there value that I can articulate? Is this value that I can deliver? Is there a promise within this value that is in alignment with a need that somebody else has? Yes, yes, and yes. That is cost of entry. The second thing that we need to talk about is there demand for the value that I'm trying to sell for the audience that I'm putting it in front of? It is not, you having value is not enough for you to have a profitable business. Just because you have a passion for it and you know your why, that is not good enough to build a profitable business. That might get you started in the morning, but that is not going to guarantee profit at the end of the day, right? Having value, being able to deliver value is cost of entry. You need to align that value with, where is their demand? Does the audience that I'm selling this to, is the audience that I'm putting this in front of, is there demand for the value that it is that I'm giving and offering? If there is a value and demand misalignment, you're going to have a very difficult time raising your price points. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? It's not just about value articulation and having a good offer that is valuable that you can deliver on. That is cost of entry. The other piece is, there needs to be demand for the thing that you're selling. So is there demand in the marketplace? Is there demand in the audience that you've positioned this offer for? And this is why I'm saying, look at your experience. Look at your expertise. The first part of morality is, am I charging too much? Is this something that you can deliver on? Is this something that you have experience with? Is this something that you have expertise on? Is this something that you have done? It's not what you've learned about. It's not what you've read about. It's not what you've studied. It's not the theory that you understand. Have you practically done it? Have you practically done it? I think we have too many students trying to become entrepreneurs who never want to actually do the work. You can't just study your way to a successful business. If you feel incapable or lack of confidence about what it is that you're delivering, go get more experience. Go do the work that you're avoiding. Go do the work that you are avoiding. Or change the offer. Stop trying to I'm helping Black women discover their purpose. Come on, guys. Can we do better than that? Right? I'm trying to help Black women lose weight. Come on, y'all. Every Black woman wants to find her purpose. Every Black woman wants to lose weight. Right? Every dog parent wants to train their dog. We have to get beyond the surface level solutions if you want to morally raise your prices. Period. So I'm going to just pause there for a second. Whoa. Do better. And I'm saying this because I'm saying do better because you are in a position where you can do better. Going back to the example of the client I was telling you about who was a career coach helping Black women get into executive level roles and executive level promotion. That was not surface level. So let me pause. She was already above the surface here, okay? She was already above the surface with that. But where is there value that she already had, where there's already demand that exists in the marketplace, there's already demand that exists for the audience, an asset manager? If somebody's dropped a couple $1,000,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars buying a multifamily unit or a commercial property and they have a loan out on their name, there's already intrinsic demand for the asset management role that she plays. She doesn't even need to create demand. The demand is already there. That's where a lot of y'all be missing the mark. A lot of y'all business coaches ain't talking to y'all about demand. It's not just value articulation is crucial, but a proper alignment with the marketplace is like, it must exist. And sometimes we will second guess, completely isolate, completely avoid experience and expertise that we have. And all I'm saying here is that if you want to morally raise your prices, first thing is like, where is experience and expertise based off of something I've done, not something I've just read, something I have experience around, not just a course I took that I didn't even finish, like that I have experience around that I could package for an audience. And I know, let me pause here before we start getting into the depths of morality and why it's morally right to raise your prices. I know somebody is thinking this right now. So I just want to call you out. Okay, I'm calling you out in love. Calling you out in love. Okay, I know somebody, just throw up a hand in the audience if this is you. Okay, just drop a hand emoji in the chat. Raise your hand, it's no shame. This is kind of like when we calling y'all down to the altar. And we just doing this to give you a revelation. That's all I'm doing this for. I know somebody's going to be like, but Jay, I'm not passionate about that. Jay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not passionate about that, sis. Like, I don't know if that's what God has called me to do. And I'm not saying that funny, but I'm saying that like, I know somebody's like, okay, Jay, I hear what you're saying. I understand the business principles you're teaching me right now, but I don't like it. That's not my deep, deep, deep passion that God put me on this earth to do. First thing I want to say is that every passion does not need to be turned into a business model. Every one of your passions does not need to be monetized. It is pure privilege and like somewhat luck if you can discover your deepest, darkest passion and somehow figure out a way to monetize it. That is, I think, more rare than it is common. Too many people are trying to package up every passion that they have, wondering why it's not profitable. Every passion ain't supposed to make you money. Sometimes your passion is buried in like active purpose that's required for you for the season that you are in. There's no job that you are going to love 100%. There's no job. There's no job of being a wife. I don't love every moment of being a wife. There is no job, I imagine, for the mothers out there. You do not love every moment of being a mother. There are jobs in your corporate career. There's no employment position that exists where you are going to love and have this deep, joyful, giddy passion every moment of the day that you go to work. There is no business that you will build that you will love every day, that you will love the work that you do every day. It does not exist. Why? Because you are human. Even as a human being, you do not wake up every day and experience like this giddy happiness all day, every day. It's just like any weather condition. There's no place where it's just sunny 365 days out of the year, every year in existence. So when people tell me like, Jay, this isn't fully my passion, I'm like, well, is that a passion that needs to be monetized? Hopefully you will enjoy what you do the majority of the time, but there is no job, no role, no position that you are going to love 1,000% of the time. I love my business. I love my clients. I do feel like a large part of my purpose is wrapped up or partially wrapped up in what I get to deliver and sell. Do I feel like the full magnitude of my purpose is wrapped up in this? Absolutely not. I'm okay with that. Part of this is like, this is the stepping stone. This is what's required of me in this season to unlock. It evolves over time. It evolves with you as you grow as an individual. Do I love every second of being a CEO? Absolutely not. Do I love every second of being a coach? Absolutely not. Why? I'm human, dealing with other humans who are also having very real human experiences. Sometimes they forget to update their credit card and their payment fails. Do you think I like those moments? No. Do they happen? Yes. Do you think that I like every function or every role in my business? Absolutely not. But was there a time period where it was absolutely required of me to do it? 1,000%. So like, I just want to pause for somebody who's like, but I got 12 years of experience doing, asset management for people who have, $1 million multifamily unit and commercial properties. But I don't know, Jay, all elements of that ain't my passion. Well, I'm going to need you to go get a hobby outside of work. After you clock out of your business at 5 o'clock, I'm going to need you to go get a hobby that is aligned with your passions then. One thing should not fool and fuel all of your desires. Just like one person, your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever you're dating is not your everything. You should not ever expect them to be your everything. It is one of the most unhealthy codependent situations any of us can be in. Also, do not have codependency with your business. Your business is not who you are. It is something that you do. And this is where I think a lot of identity work, when we start talking about morality, a lot of this needs to come into like, where do we need to start making proper disassociation? And I think a lot of the time what happens in business, why people have a hesitancy to raise their prices, is because they have wrapped up their identity in the thing that they are selling. I'm not worth this much, so I can't charge this much. I don't have the belief in myself, so somebody else absolutely isn't going to, so let me decrease my prices, right? Like, it happens. If somebody tells me no on a sales call, that means that something's functionally wrong with me. That's not true. Disassociate your identity with the business that you're building. Your business is not your baby. Your business is an asset that you created. God downloaded the idea into you. You were obedient to take action on it, but that is not your child. It is an asset that you are building. It is something that you are responsible to. Period. This is definitely, I know somebody gonna probably log off at this point. Jay, my passion is my purpose, and that needs to be where my profit comes from. My business is my baby. I know some of y'all gonna disagree with what I'm saying, and I'm totally okay with that. You might not like everything that I'm saying, but I do hope that you respect my opinion. You ain't got to agree with it, but it's big facts. Big facts for what I know to be true. All right? What I know to be, now you got me smacking. Okay, girl, let me get you together. All right. Y'all done got me cussing and lip smacking all in one live stream. It's about to get ghetto in a minute, okay? I want to break that down. So when we start talking about why is it morally, getting all these things straight, right? If you are ethically selling something that you have experience doing, either have done for yourself or you've done in some other environment, right? You've packaged a promise that you know that you can deliver on. You might have some hesitancy, right? Because maybe you've done it in one capacity, but you've never done it as a coach. You're not new to doing it, but you're new to selling it in this way. I understand there's some hesitancy. But if we look at the facts of the situation, you can do it. If I put a client in front of you and they're like, okay, I see Harry's on right now. Harry was a personal trainer for I don't know how many years. If you look at Harry, the man is ripped, toned. He got muscles I didn't even know our bodies could produce. When Harry first started coaching other coaches on how to do this, I know that if I would have thrown a coach in front of Harry, even if he ain't had no worksheets, even if he didn't have no pre-recorded videos, if you put somebody in front of him, he would know what to do. If he was like, okay, Harry, I need to lift my butt, I need to tone my thighs, I'm trying to drop 5 pounds in the next 2 weeks, what do I need to do? He would know exactly what to tell me to do. He'd put me on a regimen, he would tell me what to do. He may not have yet documented that into a way that I could consume on my own without him, but he would know what to do. And then Harry grew his own successful fitness business. So then what did Harry decide to do then? Harry decided to say, I'm going to go coach other women who are personal trainers on how to grow the finance and build their cash flow, make more money in their personal training business online. Why? Because he had successfully done it. So even when Harry transitioned online, he had never maybe coached somebody on that capacity before. But if I knew if I threw somebody in front of his face, he would know what to do. And over time, Harry has developed his program. Harry has morally raised his price points. Harry has helped hundreds of women build their personal training business online and got them out of charging just like $25 for a fitness session, but people who are enrolling 4-figure fitness clients now. If you are a personal trainer and you're looking to grow your business online, go holla at Harry. But like a lot of the time, you're not new to getting the result. You may be new to selling it in this way. And I can see there's some hesitancy there, but you can still deliver the results. Okay, you can still deliver the result. That needs to be the baseline for what I'm about to share. Now, why is it morally right for you to charge more? Who here wants to serve better clients? Like clients who are fully committed, clients who show up to the call. If you're in a done with you capacity, if you are a coach, the only way that you can get your client the result is if they do the work, right? Am I right or am I right? There's no coach on here who can get the result for their client. They can guide their client, teach their client, support their client, coach their client, but at the end of the day, the client has to do the work. So we want to actually work with clients who want to do the work, right? Just let me know if we are here, all in accordance. This is where I think it's different from a course. 90% of people who buy a course never finish it, which means 90% of people who buy a course don't get the result that the course promises. This is why I do not sell courses. People say, Jay, can I get a DIY version? No, you can't. Why? Because the promise attached to the program that I am selling requires more than you just being able to do it yourself. It requires coaching for you to be able to implement everything it is that we're teaching for you to get the magnitude of the result that we are promising. This is why I do not sell courses. 100% of the reason why I don't sell them. Because I solve big problems. And when it comes with big problems, two things need to be true. I need to have curriculum that can support that client. I need to be available to coach that client. And that client, three things. The client has to show up to do the work. So if you want clients like that, how committed are you going to be to doing something if you only pay $100 versus if you pay $10,000? If you pay $10,000, and I'm just using this arbitrarily, right? The reason why it's morally right for you to charge more is if there is a large promise attached to what it is that you're doing, first qualifier. Second thing is that if your client is needed to do the work to get the result, which if you're a coach, that is the case, you need to be charging more because if they pay more, they pay attention more. You need your client heavily invested in the actual process of the program, just as invested as you are. You also need to be getting compensated enough to act effectively, even want to show up to coach and serve the client. So that's the first reason why it's like charging more is morally right, because you want your client to be just as invested and as committed to doing what's required to get the result. And people who pay attention. How many of y'all try to sell your program for free? People still don't show up. People still don't go to work. You're giving it away. It has everything to do with what the price of the program is. We're human beings and most of us are living in capitalistic societies. Like, it just is the nature of the beast, right? Like, we have been conditioned since like caveman days to exchange something for value, exchange one thing for another. So when you charge more, it's a higher value is immediately associated with it. So if I give more money, I'm going to have more value for the thing that I just got. You know, when you bought your car for the first time, how did you drive for the first few weeks? You're like, bruh, ain't no French fries up in here because this is a food-free zone. You can still smell the new leather. Don't bring no food up in here. When you bought your car for the first time, like the first few weeks you got your new whip, why? Because you just dropped a ton of money on a vehicle. Expensive thing, right? High ticket thing, right? You had more value for the thing that you were now driving. I know when I got when I got my Tesla, I told my husband, I said, I don't care what you do in your car, but you can't eat no French fries in my car. And you definitely cannot open no barbecue packet or no Chick-fil-A sauce packet while you're inside of my vehicle, especially while we're moving. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I didn't want a piece of salt to touch my seat. No, sir. You can eat outside. I don't mind. We can take longer to get to our destination. Why? Because we are eating inside of the building. You ain't about to put that in my car. Value. There was a level of value I had because I spent as much money as I did on the vehicle. So your client needs to be committed. Committed to the point where they ain't going to let no French fries get in their whip. Committed to the point where they will change their schedule to make your coaching calls. Committed to the point where if you got somebody in a different time zone, they will wake up at 2 a.m. to come to your coaching calls. Committed to the point that even through their discomfort, even through their doubt, even through their fears, they will still do the work. That's how much money you need to be charging. That's how much you need to be charging. You need to be charging so much that, girl, I don't even care if it's raining outside. I will put a Kroger grocery bag over my hair to walk through the rain to get to that call. I'm going to do whatever I have to do. Why? Because I spent so much money. I'd be damned if I don't show up to the call. I spent so much money. I'd be damned if I don't at least try to do the work because I'm not about to waste this much money. That is why it is morally right for you to charge more. That's one of the main reasons. Like, if you care about getting your clients results, and if you are promising something that requires a large amount of effort from them, the effort required to get the result needs to be in alignment with the price point that you're selling your program for. Big facts. Big facts. Part of the reason why, Jay, you got such high client success rate. How are so many of your clients having 5-figure launches in 30 to 60 days? How are 70 to 80% of your clients getting a full return on investment within the first 90 days of being in your program, even though your program is 12 months long? How you doing it, sis? I mean, part of it is the coaching, part of it is the curriculum, part of it is the community, but the other part is how much they pay to get in the door. Clients who wrote, this is why I said we the country club of the coaching industry. We ain't for everybody, but for the ones that we are, we become your everything. The amount of money that people pay to join my program slightly scares them, but it surefire puts a fire up under their ass and they do the work. They don't delay. They're like, nah, girl. I done already gave you my credit card information. Okay, I done signed the contract. I done understood the program promise. I know what we can expect from you. I know what you expect from me. But I need to start getting results. And then they say, okay, Jay, how can I start getting results quickly so I can get this money back? Well, what you're going to do is do the work. And even if they don't fully trust me, even if they don't fully trust the process, the thing that they do trust is the money that left their account. And they trust that inner desire to want to replenish it. So guess what they will do? They will do the work. So I don't just charge arbitrarily because I'm being an asshole, guys. I'm not just like, pay me more money because my skin is flawless, right? Pay me more money because, I don't even know, I do my nighttime routine. I'm not just asking people to pay me more so I can go buy myself nice things. I'm not asking people to pay me more so I can go to, some exotic island and be half naked on a yacht somewhere. That's not why I'm asking people to pay more. I'm asking people to pay more because I want you to get the result. And I understand psychologically, practically, strategically what is required to do that. So morally, it is my obligation to charge in alignment with the value that we are delivering, in alignment to the promise being delivered, because I know that as a coach, it is done with you. I need you to do your part. I need you to be just as invested to get this result as I am supporting you with getting this result. First reason why I spend a lot of time on that. If you don't get nothing else from this live stream, if you don't get nothing else from this episode, I hope that's one thing you picked up. You can leave now. If this all the time you had, that was a big nugget. You can go do some damage with that. Okay, but I'm going to run through some other reasons why it's morally right for you to charge more, okay? Is this resonating? I know somebody's lunch break about to end. Like, I understand. I want at least get you the big nugget. You can go ahead and go if you need to. I'm going to give you some more reasons, though, why it's morally right for you to charge more for your programs. But I hope that resonated. You want to serve the best clients, you need to be charging more, first and foremost. If you care about your clients getting results, if you care about your clients getting the result, you need to charge in alignment with the promise being delivered. When you increase your price, you increase your client's emotional investment. We just talked a lot about that. When you increase your price, you increase your client's perceived value of the program. We've already discussed that in detail. People want to buy expensive things, like fundamentally. I don't know nobody that really honestly does not want to have a first class flight the next time they are on a plane. People want to buy expensive things. They just need to make it make sense. The value needs to be there for them to do it. The positioning needs to be there for them to do it. I don't know nobody, if I said, hey, if you had the financial means, do you want to fly first class or do you want to fly economy? Guess where they're going to be sitting? In that big fat seat in aisle 2, waiting for their menu and their complimentary beverage to come around. People want to buy expensive things, but the value needs to be in alignment with what it is that you're selling. People want to stay at the best hotels. People want to drive the best cars. People want to eat the best food. People want nice things. And if you can deliver on that nice thing, that is a non-negotiable. So when you increase your prices, you increase the emotional investment from your clients. You increase that client's perceived value of the program. You increase your client's results, right? You increase their commitment to show up and do the work required. You attract the best clients who value what it is that you are delivering and who actually achieve the promise you're offering. So a lot of the time, if you guys are in industries where you're like, well, ain't nobody else charging premium. Then be the one that does, because you will immediately differentiate yourself from the competition if you can deliver something premium, something superior, something of better quality at a higher price point. Like, this is why I love, there's a handful of our clients right now that are in industries where they're one of the few that actually are charging premium for what it is that they're selling. We have a dog, I don't even call her a dog trainer. She helps paw parents with, help their dogs with dog anxiety. So in a dog training world, she's one of the few charging premium for her service, but she's also niched down in a more premium way, in a more specific way. She delivers a better quality. Like, you can't go to a dog trainer to cure the anxiety. So when you are in an industry that actually doesn't have as many people charging premium for something similar, when you charge premium, you immediately differentiate yourself. You immediately differentiate yourself, and you will attract a better caliber, a higher caliber of client for your program. The other thing, outside of the value that your clients get, there's a lot of value that your business gets when you charge more. You also increase your profit margins when you charge more. Many of y'all are charging not enough, and y'all are getting people who buy your stuff, but you ain't making no money. The beginning part of this episode, we talked a lot about morality when it comes to raising your prices. We talked about like the bottom line essence of really what's required to charge premium, what you need to be bringing to the table in order to charge premium. We talked about what's really required to position yourself for premium. And we also talked about all the positive benefits that your clients get when you charge more money. Morally, when you charge more money, all the benefits that your clients get. Now that we're clear on all of that, I want to start to dissect what are the real benefits for you as a business owner when you charge more money, outside of getting your clients better results, outside of being able to attract a better caliber of client, outside of being able to work with the best clients, deliver results for those clients. Like, outside of the client piece, I want to talk about the business piece here too. The benefits when you start charging more is that you also increase your profit margins. And this is really, really important. There's a lot of people on here listening to this episode right now who get people to buy their service, who get people to buy their program, but they ain't making no money. Pause here for a second, self-evaluate. Many people who are listening to this right now might be getting people to buy their program, but they're not making money. And somebody might be like, Jay, wait a minute. If somebody bought my program, how am I not making money? Because sometimes you might be charging less than what it actually costs for you to deliver the thing that you are selling. So you are running in the negative. You are not profitable. You're getting people to buy your stuff, but you're not actually making money in the business. There's no profit to show for it. So first thing, like, bottom line is that a business does not exist to get people to buy stuff from it. A business exists to make money. That is it. 100%. All day, every day. If your business is not generating enough money to sustain itself, enough money to be profitable, enough money for you to actually, people talk about, well, my business is making money. When's the last time you paid yourself? Are you in a position where you can pay yourself? Your business is not just about getting people in the door. That's the biggest benefit to you as a business owner when you charge more, is that you can increase your profit margins. Second thing is that you get to enhance the client experience. People talk about offering this elevated, supreme client experience. That costs money. Hosting client events cost money, right? Being able to deliver a beautiful client experience, shipping your clients welcome gifts cost money. Shipping your clients farewell gifts cost money. Doing any of the extra stuff outside, even just like automating your client experience so that your client doesn't have to wait 2 days to get their welcome email, costs money. It all costs money. It's morally right for you to increase your prices if you want to deliver a better client experience. If you want to deliver a better client experience where there's more automation in your business, which means you have to pay for the technology to do that, where there's more personalized touch points in your client experience, you have to have the time to be able to dedicate to that or pay another team member to do that, that costs money. If you want to ship gifts to your clients, host client events for your clients, that all costs money. Morally, it's right for you to charge more if you want to enhance and provide a better client experience for your students. Third reason why it's best for the business for you to charge more, it enhances the quality of your program, making it better, helping your clients get bigger results and faster results. All the refinement that we do with enhancing our program curriculum costs money. making worksheets for our clients so they can print them out and go have a guide to go along with the video training that they have. Cost money. Enhancing the curriculum, right? Like teaching the curriculum not just once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Enhancing the curriculum, refining the curriculum costs money. So if you want to produce and deliver a higher quality program to your client so that they can get results faster, better, at a better quality than the competition, it costs money. So that's part of the reason why it's morally right for you to charge more, so that you can deliver a better quality experience to your clients. So you can help them get bigger results faster, right? The other reason why it's morally right for you to raise your prices is so that you can hire the best team to support your clients. If you have a client that's pissed off that you're not a solopreneur forever, that you're not the one onboarding them, closing them on the call, sending them their welcome email, coaching them on every session. If you have clients that are mad that you're the only one doing everything, when you start bringing in team members, immediately fire that client. Immediately fire that client. Give them their money back and wish them well. Why? Because that is not supportive for your sustainable growth at all. Solopreneurship is needed for a season. It is required for a season. But no client of mine, I pray, hopes and prays for me to be in a position where it's just me running the show. I hope I never have clients that have that expectation of me. Why? Because my clients, I hope, desire for my business to grow just so that in the same regard that their business can grow. I don't ever want any of my clients to be solopreneurs forever if they desire to grow a business beyond them. That's just the reality of it. It's morally right for you to raise your prices so that you actually have the cash flow to hire the best team to support your clients. You want to be in a position where you can hire people. You want to be in a position where you're not just paying for the cheapest labor that you can find. Because if you're paying for the cheapest labor that you can find and they are in a client-facing role, your clients are going to bear like the burden of that experience, which diminishes their quality of the experience. That diminishes their client experience. That diminishes their ability to get the bigger results. Because you're trying to skim and pay somebody in the Philippines $9 an hour or something, where you're underpricing and underpaying people who are in client-facing roles. Don't do that. Like, it's morally right for you to charge more if you want to, so that you can have the best team to support your clients. It's morally right for you to charge more so that you can invest in the people that you just hired, to train them, to coach them, to give them the support that they need so that they can be the best for your clients. Can I get an amen or can I get an amen? Can I get a yes or can I get a yes? Like, are we rocking together or like are we on different accords? Are we vibing on the same frequency right now? Like, a lot of people talk about hiring with this negative connotation. Get the cheapest labor you can find. And there's times and a place for it, right? There's seasons in business for it. I'm not discounting it. But the beauty and the morality of you being able to raise the price of your program allows you to raise the profit margins that you are making, which allows you to hire the best team and to invest in the best team so that you can support your clients in the best way possible. That's why Chick-fil-A pay more than McDonald's, right? Chick-fil-A is my pleasure. Hello there. What's your name? What can I get for you today? My pleasure. They're walking up to your vehicle. They're paying more to provide a better client experience. The CEO ain't out there at every Chick-fil-A franchise across the country taking your order. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's another reason why it's morally right for you to charge more. So you can, and especially if you are employing team members, I hope would desire to be able to pay them a good living wage. Who here has been in a job? Tell me if I'm right or if I'm right. Who here has been in a job where they were not being paid, they were not being compensated enough to cover their bills? So what do they have to do? Stress themselves out, get a second job, robbing Paul to pay Peter. Right? Like, why would you even want to have team members where you got to put them in that type of stressful situation? That was a dramatic pause. So, like, if you never enjoyed that as an employee, why the heck would you want to build a business of employees doing the exact same thing that you ran away from? All we're doing is continuing the cycle. Raise your prices so that you can morally pay your people on your team good wages, competitive salaries, in alignment with the value that their role delivers to your organization. And this is not the same for contractors. And I still think it's still right for you to pay contractors what they are rightfully owed in accordance to the value that they're delivering for your organization. And I did another live stream on this a while ago about like how much you pay people and like how to think about paying people. There's a whole nother episode on that. But that's something an employee on my team will never have to come to me to negotiate how much more they should be getting for their salary. I don't play that game where it's like I'm going to intentionally offer you something below what I would normally pay for it just to force you to negotiate. I have never done that to an employee. I pray that at no point in my business that ever becomes something that happens. I don't want anybody needing to come here. Like, I know what the value of a role in my company is worth for our organization at the size at which it's at. I know how much the role, like I know how much the function of that role is valued at. So I'm going to just offer the person the salary in alignment with what I know the value is. I'm not about to be making nobody jump through no hoops and like fight for more when like I already know what it is. Like, I'm going to just offer you what I know to be true and what the value is to our organization at the size of our organization based off the market research that we've done on the position and what salary compensation should be. Ain't nobody about to be getting no okie doke. I got a lot of coaches in my program that are career coaches, and a lot of them tell their clients, like, you need to always ask for more when they offer you a salary because companies can always pay more. And that is a strategy that a lot of companies do. They intentionally offer employees a smaller salary to see if they can get away with it. And I get why. It's business at the end of the day. But the other, that's just not my game. That's not the game I'm in. So that's another reason why it's morally right for you to charge more for your business. The other thing is that it allows you to spoil and pamper your clients. And we've already talked about that. Spoiling and pampering your clients is like, I love having excess profit so that I can buy my clients like gifts that they would never expect to receive from a coach. I thoroughly enjoy it. It brings me so much joy. I made a custom branded box for our legacy clients earlier this year because we had the excess profit to do it. I made no money on buying them. They all got a paid in full swag. They got a paid in full hat, a paid in full t-shirt, a paid in full hoodie with a branded Jerisha Hawk box. And they got their name engraved in a Shinola notebook. Paying to do that made me no money. I don't sell those products. The only people that have those products were clients in my boardroom mastermind. You cannot go buy that hat. So even them wearing it, they can't go promote the product for me to make money off of it. It was literally something I just desired to do. We have this little joke going around in our community about hashtag paid in full. I was like, I would love to throw that on a hat, put that on a sweater. So when they put it on, it got the energy of that paid in full. I wanted them to experience it. That was just pure profit that paid for that. That was a couple $1,000s I made no money on just to do it because I wanted to offer that to my clients. So I enjoy being able to do that. And I think the last reason why this is morally right for you to charge more for your business is not only does this allow you to remain in business, this allows you to remain in business. How many businesses have gone bankrupt because they weren't charging enough for what it costs to deliver the service? It allows you to remain in business, but also positions you to grow your business so that you can more effectively serve more clients in the future. This sounds so simple. I think what I'm saying is not rocket science, y'all. I'm not even saying nothing new. I don't think this is hard to comprehend or difficult. I don't think nobody here needs a business degree to understand this. But I think it's important that we start to move beyond just our feeling of fear around charging more and really look at the facts of the situation. What are the real benefits of me charging appropriately and in alignment to the promise that I'm delivering, to the value that's being created, to the value that I'm already delivering to my clients? I've listed off 12 or 15 benefits, not only for your clients, for your business, for the whole situation, for your team. If you want to deliver excellence, you need to have enough money left over to provide something exceptional. That's just the reality of the situation. And just make sure that you're not in business just trying to get clients, but that you're also building a business that makes you money. Fundamental, baseline. So y'all, that was today's episode. But I really hope that this at least just introduces a perspective for you to calibrate. Wait a minute. Am I charging in alignment with the value that I'm delivering? Is my price congruent to the promise that I'm selling? And I hope that this is just evidence for you that it is morally right for you to charge more when everything else is in alignment. It's not morally wrong for you to charge more. And I said there are some calibers here, there were some qualifiers here that I laid out. So don't be skipping stuff. Don't be, don't be having selective hearing with this episode. Don't have selective hearing. Hear everything that was said. Apply everything that was said. So I just hope this is helpful. I'm going to do some Q&A over on Instagram. So I will answer any questions you guys have over on Instagram. And I see a ton of you guys are still on. And I want to make sure I have some time to answer some questions. So if you do have some questions, drop them in the chat. But thank you for tuning in. If you liked the video you just watched, click this one. You might like it even more. Go ahead, check it out.